8 years ago, when I came to Germany as a student, it was quite a culture shock for me. Things were very different compared to what I was used to. The first few months were quite challenging, but I got the hang of things in time. As time passed, I got to know many things that I wish I knew earlier. That is why in this video, I want to share 9 things I wish I knew as a student in Germany. Hey friends, if you're new here, my name is Essen, I'm a researcher, and on this channel we discuss business and personal finance in Germany. And the first thing is search for better accommodation. Finding good accommodation in Germany as a student can be an absolute nightmare, especially if you are a new arrival. Not knowing the language and the culture is an added stress on the top. That is why finding a good accommodation should be among your highest priorities as soon as you get a visa for Germany. I remember my first accommodation was in a 3-room apartment with a married couple occupying 2 rooms while the other one was for students. It could have been a good experience, but the couple didn't speak a single word of English, which made my life a living hell. On top of that, my German was at A2 level, which didn't make things go smoothly. Your experience may vary, and some people even recommend living with the locals to get integrated quickly, but I would recommend finding a place with students first. This will ease you into the German culture, as students are most likely to share more compared to others. To find a better accommodation, I would recommend joining local groups on Facebook. Additionally, Kleinanzeigen is also a great place to find accommodation in Germany. Find student discounts. Almost every large business in Germany offers discounts for students. Students in Germany get discounts on clothing, electronics, and even on various contracts. I remember back in 2015 when I was in search for a winter jacket, I ended up in H&M and found out that students got a discount of 20% just for making an account on their website. I simply signed up and got a 20% discount. At that time, I didn't even know that this applied to so many other things. For example, Notebooks Billiger, which is one of the biggest stores for laptops in Germany, has a special student discount program where you can get really good deals on laptops. You can also get cheap travel tickets from the Deutsche Bahn. One thing I would recommend you to do is to open a separate email address for such discounts and newsletter signups. Try signing up with Proton Mail and keep all of those things separate from your personal and university email. Buy necessary things from Germany. What should I buy from my home country when coming as an international student in Germany? This is probably one of the most asked questions. Should I buy a laptop in Germany or should I bring it from my home country? To all of these questions, my answer is to buy all of the necessary things from Germany. Anything that can support you in your studies as a student in Germany should be bought from Germany. This includes laptop, mobile phone, study supplies like pens, printing papers, notebooks, research papers. Anything that you can prove is necessary for your studies in Germany should be bought in Germany. I say this because of 2 reasons. First reason is the legal warranty period for new goods in Germany is 2 years. So if anything doesn't work properly, it can be easily replaced free of cost compared to sending that thing back home to your home country or getting it repaired from your own funds. The second reason is that you can claim all of your study-related expenses in a tax return, as you will learn later on in this video. If you're getting value from this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. Learn about the German system. It's common knowledge that Germans are quite efficient, and in their efficiency, they sometimes forget that people from other countries don't have the same systems as in Germany. Most Germans assume that you already know things that are common knowledge for them. For example, did you know that after working 6 hours, you have to take a mandatory break of 30 minutes, and after working for 9 hours, there is another 15-minute mandatory break. So in order to work an 8-hour shift, you actually have to be present for 8.5 hours. I didn't know this when I did my first job as a student. I was working 6.5 hours for days just to find out that I was only paid for 6 hours. Another example would be the Ruhezeiten. Many students I knew got into trouble because of this thing. These are quiet times between 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. when you shouldn't make large noises on weekdays. On Sundays and public holidays, this quiet time is extended throughout the whole day. That is why it is absolutely crucial to learn about the German system by asking questions, especially from your German friends. Check out what your university has to offer. Universities in Germany have many offers that international students often do not know about. For example, you can get cheap semester tickets for travel, free software, and even rent things out for cheap or even without paying any money. My university offered cheap field trips for international students, which I found out in the second semester. This included free transport and cheap meals too. Thankfully, I found this out soon compared to many students who never knew such programs even existed. Another thing many universities offer their students is cheap or free sports activities. My university didn't have a swimming pool, but they offered free vouchers to the local swimming pool and even provided free pick and drop services for those students who didn't have a means to get there. That is why I would recommend going to the International Center if your university has one, and also contacting the student union in your university to know about what they offer. And don't hesitate to talk in English if your German is weak. Health insurance. As a student, getting health insurance is probably one of the first things that you do when you arrive in Germany. In most cases, you can't even register with your university without it. As a new student, I didn't know about public and private health insurances. All of the new students in my university were given a form for TK health insurance, and we all filled them out without knowing what other offers there were. I was paying 90 euros per month on that, and this was my second largest expense after rent. This amount increased to 98 euros just after a couple of months. I complained about this price increase to a friend of mine, and he said that he was paying just 30 euros because he had a private insurance. Now, I'm not saying that you should get a private health insurance instead of public health insurance, but 60 odd euros is a huge amount, especially as a student in Germany. That is why you should at least know about private and public health insurance and even the various options available within the public insurance. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to make a detailed video on public versus private health insurance in Germany. Filing a tax return. Taxes are a complicated topic, and students don't often like to even talk about them. But did you know that you can claim all expenses related to your studies and work-related expenses in a tax return? Yes, absolutely everything. This means your semester fee, monthly travel tickets, laptop, and mobile phone purchases. Any stationery that you buy, you can even claim costs for your thesis, internship, and job applications that you have sent. On average, people get a tax refund of 1,092 euros per year. And students can get even more if they apply for a tax return in proper way instead of just writing their name on a paper and submitting it to the Finanzamt. It took me 4 years to submit my first tax return, and even then I didn't claim many things which I should have claimed, and I really wish I knew then what I know now about taxes in Germany. I have a detailed video on this topic here if you want to know more about tax returns for students in Germany. Investing in your future. As an international student in Germany, one of the biggest, if not the biggest investment you can make for your future in Germany would be to learn the German language. Without knowing the language, you can only survive up until a certain point, especially when you start your professional career. Not knowing the German language would be the biggest hurdle in your professional career. Another thing would be to travel more. Thankfully, international students try to travel as much as they can while they are students. But for those who think they would be able to travel when they get a job, trust me, you would not be able to travel that much when you get a job. And as a student, if you think you don't have that much money, you can always find cheap tickets with Flixbus, and there's always the Deutschland ticket. Another thing, and this wouldn't be a finance channel if I didn't mention it, would be to invest in the stock market. As a student, you can invest in the stock market as long as you are investing your own money. And you can even get a tax-free profit of 1,000 euros per year. You can start with just 1 euro and start saving for your future. I have a detailed video on investing for students in Germany here. Learning about credit. Students often struggle with their finances, and due to that, they get into a lot of trouble. One of the most common things I see students in Germany do is to get a new phone on a contract. 60 euros per month for the latest iPhone might be a great deal, but when you struggle to get a job, this can lead to trouble very fast. On top of that, students often get credit cards to overcome their troubles and get into even more debt. That is why it is absolutely essential to know about credit score in Germany and how to use a credit card responsibly without paying unnecessary fees, which I discuss in these videos. So thanks for watching, bleib gesund, and I'll see you in this video.